Okay, so let's take care of this button here. Let's just select this piece and let's take out the turbo smooth for a minute. Let's disable that by clicking on the light bulb there. And to create the on-off button here at the top, we're just going to actually clone out the bottom polygons from this hole. Alright, so let's drop back to edit poly, back to polygon, just select one there and hit Z so we can zoom in on it. And we'll just grab these bottom polygons here. Okay, we're not going to include the ones around the support edge there, we're just going to use these center ones. Okay, so just grab those 8 polygons and we'll go over to detach, and let's maybe uncheck that. We'll just name it maybe button on/off and hit OK. Okay, and then we'll just reselect that piece. Let's apply a different color to it. And we'll just use this to quickly create our button. And this will ensure that the ends will be exactly the same curve, rather than trying to create it of a separate cylinder or something like that. Alright, so let's also move to center the pivot point here. Okay, and we'll just move this up a bit to the top. And let's go back into the modify panel, back into polygon. And with these polygons selected, let's just do maybe an inset here. And I'm just going to do this from the top view. Okay, so let's inset those polygons. And we want it to be pretty sharp, so let's maybe do around maybe 0.3, 0.4, something like that. And we'll do a couple here just to help the edge smooth out and stay maintain its sharpness. Okay, so let's hit this maybe twice, and then we'll hit OK. Alright, and then we'll go to border. Let's grab the outer border here. And with the move tool, I'm just going to hold down shift and clone this down. Okay, we'll just bring it down a little bit here so we have a support edge. And then we'll press shift again and just drag it down. Okay, we'll turn off border there. And let's put a turbo smooth on, 2 iterations, and isoline. Okay, and we'll just kind of tuck it down here a bit. We still want it to stick out from the surface a little bit. Alright, we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, we'll also turn our turbo smooth on here and just ensure that everything fits properly. Whoops. Okay, because we have such low geometry on the button there, we don't have very many edges at all. We might need to do 3 iterations of turbo smooth. Let's maybe just do that. Okay, or you could add a little bit more, a few more edges in here as well as on the sides, and that would help smooth it out with 2. But in this case, I'm not worried about the poly count at all, so I'm just going to do 3. Okay, that looks pretty good. The next thing we'll do is come over and start working on the actual headphone jack. We are going to put some sort of geometry in the hole here. Okay, and for this, let's maybe disable the turbo smooth on this as well. Drop back down to poly. Let's go to edge, and we'll just maybe do a ring on these inside edges here. Okay, and let's control click polygon, and let's detach this. Okay, I'm going to detach it as a clone. And we'll do maybe headphone, jack. Okay, make sure you detach this cleanest check there, hit OK. We'll just select that piece in there. Let's just hit H. Grab that, and we'll just apply the blue shade to that as well. Alright, just so we can see it. And we'll just create the port out of this piece here. Okay, I'm not going to worry about doing, accurate detail on this. I just want to give it some so that it looks like there's something going on in there, and it's not just flat-sided like this. Alright, so let's maybe go to border. I'm just going to grab the bottom border here for a second. And we'll just move this up. We don't need it to be that long. Okay, we're just going to leave it maybe something like that. Alright, then we'll reselect the top border. Let's go maybe cap it. Okay, and we'll go to polygon, grab that top poly, and we'll just do an inset on this. And let's take this up quite a bit. Check it on the top view here. And I'm just trying to look at my phone here to see how thick this edge is. It's pretty thin, so we don't want to take it in too much. Let's maybe dial that back just a little bit. We'll do maybe around 2.9 or 3 and hit OK, and then we can actually delete this polygon. Alright, now we'll grab the inner border and just hold down shift and drag that down. Okay, we'll bring this down quite a ways. Okay. Alright, let's reselect this piece. And we'll just bring up that border here. We don't need it to be that long. Okay, we'll just bring it up maybe slightly below the blue part there. And we'll just leave it tucked in like that. Okay, so back, reselect this piece. And we'll just give this a little bit of detail here, maybe in the left view. Let's go to wireframe F3. Let's maybe just pull that down a little bit more for now. Now we'll bring it down something like that, and we can adjust that later. Okay, so let's add a little bit of detail here. Let's go to edge, and we'll select the side edges there. And again, make sure you have ignore back facing turned off. Let's just do a connect. Move this edge up, and we'll put it right about there maybe. And let's also add another one here. Move that up to say about there. And let's just scale this in. Alright, so I'm just going to scale it down on the triangle here so we do it evenly. And we'll kind of give it a little bit of a taper in and out like that. And let's see, let's maybe add a couple more segments up here on these edges. Let's do a connect, and we'll do maybe, I don't know, maybe like 3, no pinch, no slide, and okay. And I'm just going to slide these edges down a bit with the move tool. Maybe like that. Okay, and let's maybe chamfer them. Alright, so with those 3 loops selected, let's hit chamfer. Take this down a bit. And let's just quickly punch this in. Alright, so I'm going to go to polygon, grab these polys here, and then we'll just deselect these ones. Alright, so just have those 3 strips selected. And let's extrude them. Okay, so open up extrude, you want to switch this from group to local normal so that it extrudes evenly. Okay, and let's do just a little bit of an extrusion. And we'll do something like that, and okay. Alright, we'll just add a couple of additional edges here so we can maintain some of the sharpness. Alright, so back to edge, let's just grab, whoops, let's just actually ring these. Just going to grab an edge in each of those extrusions and do a ring. Okay, we'll just connect that up with 2 segments. And we'll just leave it no pinch, no slide. Okay, we'll also add a couple of segments on this section here. So let's grab this one and this one, same thing. Pinch those out a bit. Around 85, 90, something like that should be good. And we'll just add another one down here. Let's hit OK to that, and we'll just leave this edge here, and we'll do the same at the top. Connect those ones up, and we'll slide that down just a little bit more. Hit OK, and I'm just going to take this top edge out for a second. Control backspace that one, and we'll also maybe just chamfer this edge down. Alright, so do a loop on that, and chamfer it. Maybe something like that. Okay, and let's go over into the inside here. And let's maybe grab the top edge here, do a ring, and we'll connect that up. Let's do 2 segments, no pinch, no slide, and okay. And one of the top to have a little bit of a bevel. Let's just maybe move these up. Okay, let's just move that up a bit. I don't want to go super crazy on it. The real one doesn't have much of a bevel, but we'll just add maybe something like that. And that'll just help when we render later on. It'll catch more light and a better reflection if it's not completely flat. Alright, so I'm just going to leave it a little bit beveled, and let's also add a supporting edge on the inside here. Ring that and connect it up with 1 segment. Slide that up to the top. And we'll just park it right about there. I'm not going to add any on the inside here on either side because I don't think we really need that, but we will add one on the outside. Okay, so just select an edge there on the outside, ring it, and connect it up. And we'll do that about the same. Alright, let's also center that pivot point. Okay, And let's also maybe just slightly move this whole piece up just a little bit. Alright, just so it's poking out of the surface a bit. Okay, we can actually move this inner border up a bit more on the top part. Alright, let's just reselect that and we'll just push it up a bit. Okay, we could actually probably move the bottom of this piece up a little bit more as well. Alright, so we'll go over to vertex, grab those bottom verts, and we'll just shorten it up a bit. Okay. Alright, so let's enable turbo smooth on the top part. And we'll also add one to this. And again, this is pretty low res. We only have like 8 sides there, so we might need to do 3 iterations of turbo smooth. You can avoid that if you did it out of a separate cylinder and added, you know, like 24 sides or 18 or something like that. It would smooth a lot better with only 2 iterations. But we'll check it out here and see what it looks like. Alright, you can see that's a little janky there on the edge, so let's do 3. And I think we look alright. Just move that up slightly. Okay. Alright, we don't have any detail that we need to put into that small hole. That's just going right through the surface. I'm going to leave the bottom cap, like I mentioned before, just so we don't have any light coming through there. We might want to actually cap off the rest of these as well. Alright, so let's grab the top piece again, drop back down to edit poly, and we'll just grab the border here under the button and cap it. Alright, and we still have that support edge running around the bottom, so that should smooth fine. Okay, that'll prevent any light leaks coming out of there, and let's maybe just do it with the headphone jack as well. Let's grab that piece, and we'll do the exact same thing here. Alright, so let's cap that, grab the polygon, do an inset to get a support edge, and also add one on the sides here. So just bring those connected up, and let's bring that down to the bottom. Okay, so that should close everything up first. Okay, so I believe we're done with the top piece for now, so let's unhide all. And the next thing we'll do is start working on that bottom part. Okay, this is going to be the most detailed of the 4 sides. So let's just grab the bottom here, we'll do Control I to invert the selection and hide select it. And we'll go into our top view here, let's toggle our transparency on. And we also need to switch this to the bottom. Okay, and we'll start cutting in these speaker vents here, as well as the screw holes and the USB port hole. Alright, so let's grab the bottom mesh. And let's see, let's maybe bring this edge here first. And we'll do a connect. Alright, let's do 3 segments, and we're just going to pinch that out a bit. Here, let's do maybe like 30 or so on the pinch. Okay, and let's also just get a couple of circles in here for a guide. Alright, so back to shapes, back to circle. Just draw that out in the center here. Okay, and let's make it black. Turn our steps down to 1. And we'll just figure out the radius here. Let's do about maybe 6.2. Okay, and don't worry if it's off on the blueprint there, we're just going to line it up with the actual edges. Okay, which looks pretty good, so we'll move that over. And we'll put it right about there. Okay, and let's shift drag a copy over here to the other end. And one more for the screw hole. And the screw hole is pretty much the exact same size as this is top to bottom. Alright, so we're just going to keep all 3 of these the same size. And obviously that's pretty pixelated there, we can't really see it, but just try to get it in the general location. Alright, so let's reselect the piece here, and we'll add a few extra edges. Alright, let's grab these, and do a connect. Whoops, let's do that with 1 segment. Okay, we'll just leave that one right in the center for now, And we really only need to build half of this. We don't need to do the holes on both sides. We can just mirror it over afterwards. Okay, so let's go into vertex, grab all the verts on the right side of center. Make sure you have ignore back facing turned off and delete them. Back to edge and just start adding some edges here. Alright, so we need one right there. Right in the center of that circle. One over here in the center of this circle. Alright, I'm just going to put my edge constraints on here so I can slide these around without screwing up any of the curve on the corners. Alright, so we're about there. Let's add another one over here for this one. And we also need one on each side, so let's add another one. Move that over to right about there. Okay, let's do two here. Just gonna pinch those a little bit closer together. And let's actually maybe do one. I don't think we really need to do two edges. Oh, what the hell, let's just do two. Alright, so let's kind of put those in the center between these two circles. Around -50 or so at 2 segments should be good. Okay. And let's maybe just cut the holes now. Alright, so same deal here. Let's go to cut, turn on our snaps. Alright, trace the left side of the left circle to the bottom and skip across to the right circle, trace the right side. And back to the top of the left circle and right click. And for this guy, we'll just go all the way around. And right click, turn off cut, turn off snaps, hit H, grab those 3 circles and delete them. Alright, and we'll just maybe select these verts here and just make sure that they're welded up again. Alright, so do a 0.1 on there, and it looks like we had a few that we missed. Okay, so we'll hit OK to that, and now we'll just quad it up. Okay, so let's grab these corner ones and hit connect. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut here. We'll also connect up the circle on each of the 4 corners. And we're going to need to cut in this USB port here, which I think we'll do first before we do these holes. So let's maybe go over and grab polygon here. Select these 2 center polygons, and we're going to just inset this for starters. Let's bring that up a bit. Okay, I'm going to take it down to around 4.5 probably, and hit OK. Okay, I'm just going to turn off my polygon chain with F2. And we're going to need to terminate some edges on the end here once we get the support in. Okay, we actually can delete these 2 over here on the end. We don't need those. Let's delete those and move these back. Let's make sure you turn off your edge constraint. Just zero out the x-axis here so everything's in alignment. And rather than just moving these 3 verts over to line it up with the edge there, I'm actually going to add another segment. Okay, this is just so we can terminate the edges in a minute. Okay, let's just do 1 on this. Okay, and we'll make that planar on X. Let's slide it down. And we'll line it up right there. Okay. Okay, and rather than cutting all these edges, I'm going to try to do it with inset. It might save us some time, so let's grab these 4 pulleys here. I'm going to zoom in, turn off our shading with F2, and we'll just do an inset here. Take that amount way down. Okay, let's up this a little bit. Maybe something like that. Let's do it twice. And OK. And let's also maybe loop this edge here and chamfer it. Take the amount way down. Let's add maybe 2 edge segments here. Okay, let's do about 0.33 or so and 2 segments in. Okay. I'm just looking to terminate the support edges by doing the inset here, as well as have triple edge support around these corners like we've been doing to hold the shape. Alright, we are going to have to clean this up over here a little bit. So we'll delete these 4 polygons right on the end. And just move those verts back over. Okay, let's just actually make this planar on X. And then we'll zero out the X-axis at the bottom there. Okay, and we'll see what we got here in the perspective view. Okay, so let's go back into the bottom view, back to polygon, toggle our transparency for a second, and let's just punch this in. So let's grab these 2 big polygons, and we'll grow the selection once. Okay, so we want to have one of these small section of polygons selected and one not selected on each side all the way around this. Okay, and we'll just maybe extrude this up a bit. Okay, so open up extrude, take it down to a negative amount, and just punch that up. And it doesn't need to be super thick here. Let's do maybe like, I don't know, -5 or something for now, and okay. Okay, we can also come over to the center here, and we don't need these 2 polygons that were created. So we'll delete those as well as the ones on each side. Delete those right out. Just gonna grab a polygon here and zoom in so we can see what's going on. Alright, that's pretty much perfect for our support edges there, so I don't think we'll have any problems smoothing that. So we can take care of the actual holes now. Back into the back, or the bottom view, sorry, and we'll just grab these polygons. And let's do both these at the same time. Okay, and again we want these to be super sharp, so let's do another inset. Let's take it down a bit, about 0.2 or so, and let's just do 2 to be on the safe side, and okay. Okay, and we'll extrude those up the same amount, and okay. And we'll just maybe delete these polygons off. Obviously we have a screw that goes in this hole and that speaker mesh that will need to go into the back of this one, so we really don't need to have any polygons in there. But we do need to have a support edge on the inside. Okay, so let's ring an edge in each of these holes, do a connect. Let's do 2 segments, and we'll just pinch that up. And we'll do it pretty tight, let's do about 90, and okay. And then we'll just take out the top edge on each side. Okay, the reason why I did that with pinch rather than just 1 segment and slide was because chances are this edge would have moved up and this one would have moved down. And sometimes it's just easier to, loop these edges and take them out. Okay, and let's also get rid of these polygons here. We actually don't need those ones. Alright, so let's grow that selection. And we'll just delete those out as well for now. Alright. And I believe we've gotten everything, so let's maybe just throw a symmetry modifier on this. Okay, way down to symmetry. Let's flip our mirror on the X. And it looks pretty good. Let's convert it to table poly. And let's just maybe take the center edge out here. So I'm just going to grab an edge on each side of that hole, loop it, control backspace it, reselect all the edges, and we'll just give it a couple of extra segments. Let's do like 3, and okay. And let's also test smooth it now. So 2 iterations, nice line. And we'll see how this looks. Okay, it looks like it's holding out pretty good. And I think that's good enough. If you want to, you could do a little bit more detail on the edges. If you zoom in on the pictures here, you can see that has a little bit more of a bevel detail rather than just being a hard edge. If you want to try adding that detail, you can. I'm going to skip it for the tutorial, just do it a little bit more simple, just for the sake of speed. Okay, that's a really small detail. You probably won't even notice it on the final model. Okay, so we'll just stick with our basic hard edges here. Okay, I also want to make sure that we add a support edge on the inside here. Alright, you can see when that's smoothed, that looks a little bit soft, so we want to add 1 edge on the inside here. Okay, so let's grab an edge there, bring it, connect it, 1 segment, all the way down to the bottom. And I'll just sharpen that up a little bit for us. Okay, so I think we're done with the bottom. Let's maybe do the screws next, and then we'll tackle that anti-dust mesh that they have in those speakers there.